Good evening, Dr. Wiley. For this video presentation, this was on character education. Unfortunately, my paper was not submitted in time for the cutoff at 11 o'clock. So it is finished and it is going to be included. I don't expect to get any points for it, but for the purpose of the video presentation, to be able to get points for it, at least you can reference back to the paper to see what I am talking about today. When I decided to do my position paper on character education, my background is as a Christian, and I believe heavily in Christian and moral values. And I believe there is too much concentration right now on standardized testing, and we're trying to get the next best thing and the next best practice in place to do things for our school system. And I just think that we've just haven't focused enough on character. I think it's great that we perfect ways in which we teach people, but what kind of people are we teaching? It doesn't do any good if they're so smart, but if we can't trust them, then what's the point? So character education was my basis for going into this position paper, and the philosophy that I use with character education is key to academic excellence. For I know of plenty of schools, top schools in the country, the ones that are doing so good on the standardized test, all of them have great character education programs going for them. So I believe the two go hand in hand. And also I read a fascinating article by David Shields. It was called Character as an Aim of Education. And in it he discusses about making character the focal point of education and not making it just an additional class that we take, one additional class that we teach, but making character education a foundation for teaching and for training our young people. And he explored the word character inside of character education, and that there were 4 tenets to it. And I don't have time to go into those, but as you go into those 4 basic characteristics of character, it shows that character in and of itself is very diverse, and it can fit every area of content, every subject, every place that we train our students. So if we focus on character, we're not going to be missing anything. We're not going to be missing training our kids and doing anything. If anything, we'll be making them better. And so he goes on to say that if we were to use character as our frame of reference, one of the things that happens is the things that are taught with character education in the way that he does it, is that the training that they get is applicable to every content area. It's applicable to science, to mathematics. It creates lifelong learners, this process of what we call character and character education. And I want to touch base on that from the student standpoint, but I also want to go to the other standpoint as far as teaching side of it when we're educating our educators. And in that, I felt that I should touch on socially just teaching for a small point, because I believe that it is the socially just teaching, that concept goes hand in hand with character education. There is much character education in social just teaching. We're coming from a standpoint of equal education for all, for getting rid of practices that no longer work. They're just there just because of tradition, just because educators are comfortable with them. It's the status quo, so why change? So socially just teaching says no. We need to challenge the system. We need to see what's working, what is not, that everyone has a voice, and that there is good quality education for all students. And I think if we put more of a focus on socially just teaching and we make it really a standard part of our curriculum and not just another educational topic, that the teachers themselves will come forward with more of a multicultural, diverse attitude toward teaching and toward training. And the final component that I added in there, I went one step further, was this concept of culturally based school culture. And what that is you take the tenets of character education and it's character-based school culture, pardon me. You take the tenets of character education and you create a culture and a program, and you instill that culture and that program in that school, so that in everything that you're doing, education, character education is a part of the very foundation that that school is built upon. It is so hard to teach against a culture if that culture is teaching things that are wrong. But imagine that if we are instilling a culture of character-based education, and that is the culture of that school, how strong that is and how long-lasting that is, and how over time it can be modified and grown, and it can really affect the whole dynamics of that school system and impact thousands upon thousands of lives. So it also touched on that as well. It was really an eye-opening experience, this standpoint of really what character is, and seeing that there are character educational programs that are out there. We just need to have the courage to go forward and enlist in those. Pray that you have an awesome summer, and it's been very good being your student, and I thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.